I'm Ezrah Raya, and this is the Manila Times. The United Nations Climate Summit in Dubai ended with a historic worldwide deal to transition away from fossil fuels as a power source, which is the main driver of global warming. Nearly every country in the world agreed to orderly and equitably move away from the burning of fossil fuels. This is the first time such an agreement has been reached in 28 years of international climate negotiations. However, the deal avoids for a total phase-out of oil and gas usage. Delegates from nearly 200 countries gathered in Dubai from November 30 to December 12 for the COP28 climate conference. MSCI Chairman and CEO Henry Fernandez said this agreement represents a milestone for global climate progress, adding that turning it into real-world decarbonization will require support from all industries, including finance and investment. The Philippines have sent three delegates at the COP28 summit. Here to tell us more is the Climate Change Commission of the Philippines, Commissioner Albert P. Dela Cruz. Welcome to the Manila Times, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to serve our country and our people.
Yes, sir. How was your trip to Dubai? Kakabalik niyo pa lang po.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything is good with the guidance of our president and supervision of our good secretary of the DNR, Secretary Yulo Loizaga.
Sir, the COP28 Climate Summit in Dubai concluded with a global deal to transition away from fossil fuels. How does the CCC aim to support this agreement?
It is a matter of principle as provided by our nationally determined contribution signed by the former president and uphold and really being undertaken by this present administration under President Bongbong Marcos, that we are determined to have a transition of 75% reduction of our carbon footprint by 2030 and a total decarbonization by 2050. The 2030 75% is conditional, wherein 72.75 something will be dependent on the support that we will be receiving for the technology and financial mechanism. So yun po ay bahagi na ng ating determinasyon bilang isang bansa na lumayo sa paggamit ng carbon na fossil fuel.
Sir, what is the main alternative po, ano? So we've talked that burning fossil fuels as a main power source. So we will move away from that. So that's been agreed. So what is the number one alternative that the CCC is for energy source?
Yeah, one of the primordial alternative, as we very well know, are the renewable energy. Renewable energy, under Renewable Energy Act, we have like the solar, we have the wind turbine, we have geothermal, we have tidal, so on and so forth. These are the force of nature wherein they are considered to be part of what we call the rhythm and harmony with nature. So these are form of energy that we have to harness. And then one of the Philippine position that we're so proud that we're able to articulate during the conference of party is the use of what we call the innovative technology or innovative climate solutions that are not being defined yet. Because as we very well know, there are a lot of the research and development. One of these is the use of green hydrogen as form of one of the energy that should be considered as part of the renewable energy matrix of our country. And the president also is keen in looking into the opportunity and the possibility of using modern nuclear energy.
So does the CCC plan on pushing one of these alternatives more than the other? And if so, which part of the country does the CCC or the Marcos administration plan on starting this?
As far as the CCC is concerned, with regards to this specific kinds of renewable energy, we are considered to be technology neutral. because as a policy-making body, we offer to our stakeholders the different types of renewable energy and other innovative technology. It will depend on the expertise of the different renewable energy players, our private sectors. So it will depend on the business plan that they have, but we are all catering this kind of technology.
Sabi nga po nila, if we're asked which is the best renewable energy, it's the one that works specifically for the topography of the area.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And we really don't want to mention a specific energy because there are those who really, for example, just to give an example, if you will be for the Philippines, specifically on the north, we have a good sunlight. Probably they will be telling us that it is good to have solar PV. But for those area, like also in the north and other area, highland with a good wind velocity, they will be talking about wind turbine. So really, it depends upon the availability of the forces of nature, including the biomass.
So on this note, sir, what are the current programs that the CCC has to combat climate change? The current programs that are ongoing.
We have programs on the national level, like the national determined contribution, the budget tagging. We also have program on the local level, like the local development action plan, or the enhanced local climate action plan, or the LCCAP. Under the law, each and every local development, the municipal and the provinces, they are mandated to submit to the Climate Change Commission the local climate change action plan. It's considered to be their Bible for local climate mitigations and adaptations for their municipality to become a resilient municipality, and our people to have an upper middle income by 2030. A resilient community with an upper middle income by 2030. So we're doing this as a policy making body with the power and authority to make an oversight with regard to the different programs, both of the national and the local level. So, for example, for the local level, they need to have a local ordinance specifically identifying programs which are considered to be part of the SIDRA, or the Climate and Disaster Risk Assessment. They need to know what are the area that are considered to be prone for landslide. Number two, for rising sea level. They need to identify their vulnerable sectors. Meaning to say how many children they have, how many women they have, how many pregnant women they have, how many senior citizens they have, the disabled, how many indigenous people that they have. All of these are part of the ELCCAP with SIDRA, wherein they will be identifying the people, places, vulnerable sectors, and the different interventions and preparedness for them to mitigate the impact of the climate abnormalities and vulnerabilities. For their programs, it is not business as usual. They need to identify programs, for example, for their infrastructures. They need to adopt green infrastructures. Yes,
Has
ma'am.
has these measures for climate resiliency, ano. So meron po pala tayong mga programs or programa for climate resiliency. So climate resilience basically just means adjusting how we live and work to keep us safe from the impacts of climate change. So I notice most of your programs on climate resiliency requires the government sector, the municipalities on different regions to comply and adjust the way they live to mitigate the impacts of climate change. Let me ask you this, sir. Will the government also require the private sector, the companies, to comply with climate resiliency, or like the deal that's been made in Dubai to comply with renewable energy sources?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Precisely. Part of the regulatory power of the government is to regulate, including the private sectors. We're just mentioning what the government is doing uh, insofar as the national and local government level of our governance are concerned. But precisely, you are correct, including the private sectors. That's why uh, for the ELC cap, the ordinance for the local government, there are provisions for the issuance of the new building permit, as I mentioned. There are provisions for the use of what we call inclusions of parking spaces for the bicycle. Also, the inclusions of new design for the what we call green building. For example, specific example is for green building, they need to offset the use of the building footprint, the land that they use. They need to offset by means of build having a concrete roofing instead of what we're using now, so that the roof deck will be used for gardening and other types of recreational facility because of the specific land area that they occupy. This is part of the land management insofar as green planning is concerned. Also, what I know, the Department of Energy now is also mandating the different, for example, the different malls that we have for energy efficiency. Mapapansin mo, we'll notice that there are some malls na napakalamig. For example, December ngayon, malamig naman ng panahon. Sometimes uh, they are below 20 degrees centigrade. So supposed to be, uh, it has to be, we need to use our energy very efficiently. Also, what we know, SEC, Securities and Exchange Commissions, insofar as the uh, uh, reportorial requirements that they have to the different government, the different industries filing their annual reportorial requirement. It's included already the sustainable reporting. Sustainability reporting is part of the reporting that they need to have. Part of the reportorial requirement that they will be doing is the carbon footprint or the carbon accounting of each and every industry. It will be an added color to their profession.
For my last question po, will the CCC strictly enforce the the moving away from fuel deal that was reached in Dubai? Will you be implementing that strictly here in the Philippines?
Yes, madam, of course, because that is part of it. It is a, a treaty obligations on the part of our country. As a country, as a nations, we are being obliged by the community of nations. Not only because it's our obligation, but it is our obligations not only to the community of nation or to the United Nations or to the Conference of Party, but it is our obligations to the next generation. We owe it to our children and to the children of our children to be responsible enough to clean up the mess, the carbon mess. The present generation, we, you and me, is the reason why we have this climate abnormalities. So it is incumbent upon this present generation, you and me, to clean up, to be responsible enough for us to be able to pass it on, so to speak, this planet to the next generation.
Very well said, sir. Maraming salamat po. Climate Change Commission of the Philippines, Commissioner Albert P. De La Cruz. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my privilege. Thank you.